Pokemon Nuzlocke can be found all over YouTube with all sorts of rule conditions. They have always piqued my interest, so I thought, why not give it a try? So I spent the next 5 days playing Pokemon Go as a Nuzlocke. You might be asking yourself, what even is a Nuzlocke? According to Bulbapedia, the Nuzlocke challenge is a set of rules intended to create a higher level of difficulty while playing the Pokemon games. The rule sets may vary between players, but there are 2 rules that must be followed at all times. The player must only catch the first wild Pokemon encountered in each area and no others. If the first wild Pokemon encountered faints or flees, there are no second chances. And if any Pokemon faints, it is considered dead and must be released. Revival methods such as revives, revival blessing, max revives, etc. are forbidden. If the player runs out of living Pokemon, they have failed the challenge and must restart the game. I've had to tweak the rules a little bit to suit Pokemon Go's playstyle. Here are my rules for the next 5 days. I can only catch 1 wild Pokemon a day, excluding the starter, which is mandatory to proceed the storyline. I must nickname each of my Pokemon that I use in battle. I can catch multiple of the same Pokemon but have to release them immediately and only keep the original. For example, if I catch more than 1 Pikachu, then I release other Pikachus but only keep the original nicknamed Pikachu. It'll make sense in a minute. This excludes Spotlight Hour, so I can't go out on a Tuesday between 6 and 7 PM and catch a bunch of the same Pokemon and then evolve them, because then that would be too overpowered. Gifted Pokemon through research is allowed, but the duplicate rule still applies. This also applies to any eggs, or by some virtue of a shiny, and I've already caught it, I cannot catch the shiny. But the chances of that are really, really slim. I cannot revive any Pokemon once they're fainted. Potions between battles are allowed. And once hitting level 5, which is when you can interact with a gym, I can only spin a maximum of 3 Pokestops or gym photo discs per day. If that sounds like a good time to you, consider liking the video and subscribing for more Pokemon content in 2025. But let's find out right now if my Pokemon survive the week. After pressing new player and creating an account with Google and agreeing to the terms of service, we agreed with everyone's favorite NPC, Professor Willow. We'll be seeing a lot of him this week, by the way. Just forewarning. He tells us that there are Pokemon everywhere and how he's the best professor, apparently. Never heard of him before this game. And after all that, we pick our style. An important part of the story, apparently. Then we pick our starter. I've always been on the Squirtle squad, so naturally I picked Charmander. Just kidding, I picked Squirtle. I nicknamed him Big Squirt. Professor Willow congratulates us on following simple instructions, and we nickname ourselves Nuzzle 42069. Nice. After leveling up to level 2, we spun our first Pokestop and unlocked some special research. I talked to Professor Willow some more, then he introduced us to his friend Ree. Man, this plot's very thin, isn't it? I incubated an egg I got from the Pokestop and caught my day 1 encounter, a Hippopotamus, nicknamed Hippie Boy. We leveled up to level 3, and here's where I realized a problem. We wouldn't unlock gym battles until level 5. So, we've got a long way ahead of us yet. So, I worked on some research, fed berries to Pokemon, which is okay as long as I don't catch them. Then I went ahead and went on a spinning frenzy. I spun, and I spun my little heart out. I even spun so much I earned a bronze badge. That's cool, I guess. I spun some more until I finally hit level 5. I talked to Willow some more, love that. But he was stuck on trying to sell me an incense, which I wasn't going to need because it would attract Pokemon when I couldn't even catch them anyway. But I claimed the free experience regardless. But it was time for the main event, my first gym. After being inducted into Team Instinct for literally no reason, I was not ready for a gym battle like this, so I adventured it until I found one that had a lonely squirrel. It took me 3 battles alternating between Big Squirt and Hippie Boy. That's a sentence I never thought I'd have to say. And just like that, day 1 was completed successfully. The next few days were going to be easier than that, thank goodness. I caught my day 2 encounter. A carbink named Rocky claimed the catch 3 Pokemon gifted in the special research, because I caught a second Hippopotas yesterday, which I then released. It was a Bulbasaur, so I named it Viney. I spun my 3 photo discs because I was doing some research, and apparently photo discs at gyms drop more healing items. I don't know how true that is, but it was worth a shot. Anyway, for the day 2 gym battle, I took down this slacking with my 2 new friends, Viney and Rocky. I also leveled up to level 6. A very uneventful day, thank goodness. And I didn't even get interrupted by Professor Willow even once. Day 3 rolled around like clockwork. I caught my daily Pokemon Totodile, called him Captain Croc. He does have a low CP, but he has a big heart, and that's all that matters. Leveled up to level 7, spun my discs, and then I healed up my Pokemon and took on this fully healed Greedent. Well, the first battle was tough. Rocky took a lot of hits, but it was ultimately Hippie Boy that was defeated. Coming in with a vengeance, Viney finished the deal. Thankfully, rounds 2 and 3 were a lot easier as Greedent, well, got less greedy. Well, as a part of the rules, it's time to say goodbye to our friends that were defeated. And Hippie Boy, it's time to see the Professor. And actually, to be quite honest, it took the wind out of my sails a little bit. I didn't play immediately the next day. Don't worry, we've got 2 more days of footage to go in. But it was actually really hard to say goodbye to Hippie Boy. It was our day 1, and he just unfortunately didn't survive the hits from the Greedent. And yeah, it took the wind out of my sails. I think that's the point of the Nuzlocke. I'm going off script here, can you tell? That's the point of the Nuzlocke. You build connections with these Pokemon, and saying goodbye to them really impacts you. I don't know why. It was a really weird emotion to go through, but alas, here we are. Hippie Boy is no longer, but we do make some more friends, so hope you're enjoying this video. If you are, please consider liking it, and well, we've got 2 more days of fun-filled festivities coming right at ya. And the unfortunate luck continues as I tried to catch my day 4 encounter, Clefairy, but it ran. Sad face. But never fear, I have some research to claim and some more reward Pokemon, like this Magikarp and this Lillipup. I know, I claimed 2. Don't be mad at me. It's my rules. It's allowed. I nicknamed the Magikarp Fish and the Lillipup Colin after the very own Colin Segev. Right before the gym battle, I leveled up to level 8, and today we're going to be taking on the iconic mouse himself, Mickey Mouse. No, I'm just kidding, Pikachu. I don't like this script. The first battle is always the hardest. Rocky tried their absolute best, but being nearly knocked out, I quickly pivoted into Viney to finish the job. I healed up and tried again. This time, Rocky was able to take on the iconic mouse all on their own. The third round, I thought I'd give our new friend Colin a go, and he absolutely smashed through the battle with no hesitations. No friends lost today. On our final day here, I channeled my inner Kylie Minogue and performed all my spins. Caught this wild Machop and nicknamed it Choppy. Then I had some special research to claim, and, well, I can't read because I thought the task said use an incense, but it actually read use an incubator. So there's a little dum-dum Dale moment. Anyway, from that we got a reward of a Charmander. And if you thought not reading was the only dum-dum moment, well, you're wrong, because the nickname I chose for this Charmander is Fire Truck. But somehow, Fire Truck has a Y in it. I don't ask questions at this point. I leveled up to level 9, healed up my Pokemon before taking on this Chansey. I thought I would showcase some of our new friends we haven't seen in battle yet. And that started with Fire Truck with a Y, who took down the Chansey with relative ease. Then it was Choppy's turn to shine with his super effective karate moves. And then Captain Croc came along to finish the job. All in all, a successful gym fight. And there you have it. Pokemon Go played as a Pokemon Nuzlocke. Well, my interpretation of a Pokemon Nuzlocke. It was a very interesting week. Very slow paced. I find when I play Pokemon Go, it's very fast paced. It's very action. You catch as many as you can and power up as much as you can. Whereas this is very slow in progression. But hey, we got to level 9 and we lost one friend along the way. Hippie boy, he's doing well. I just spoke to Professor Willow before because, you know, Professor Willow, professional yappuccino at the Yap Bucks. No, Star Yaps. Star Yaps. That's the name of the new Starbucks, is Star Yaps. But very interested to see what you guys think down in the comments below. Do you want me to continue this? I'm happy to. It's interesting to film and edit. It's a different style of video. I'm not used to reading off a script. This outro is not scripted, thank goodness. Oh, I can be my authentic self. But yeah, very interested to know your thoughts down below. You can follow my many Instagram adventures over on my Instagram at @TheDaleSegev. That's TheDaleSegev. Colin's over there as well, the Colin Segev. TikTok, YouTube, Instagram. I'm going to put random photos of Pokemon on Instagram and no one's going to have any idea what I'm talking about. And they're just going to see Fire Truck with a Y and go, what the heck is going on? So, but that's going to do it for this video. Consider hitting the like button. Why not?